Great to have you back. A bit weird, is it?
Yeah, it's really weird to be back in, especially that it's all changed.
It's all changed, yeah. What's changed? Obviously, the study hall.
The study hall, the staff room, and it's just weird. Like,
and Dylan's out of his office as well. That's that's different. Exactly. That's good. Great. No, that's fantastic. So Leaving Cert over now. How many months will that be? About 6 months?
God, I don't even know. I have lost count.
Yeah, a long time. Yeah. And you've obviously settled into college life.
Yeah, it did take me the first month to settle in because I'm in UCD and it's such a big place, and it kind of takes you the first month to find your place in there. Do you know what I mean? Because there's so many people. You walk in from a school and like everyone knows who you are because you've made it to 6th year, even in this place because of the size of it. Mm-hmm. Everyone like knew your name and stuff, and then you're walking into college and you're so small. And you're kind of like, okay, I need to make my statement now. Yeah,
and what did you do? How did you settle yourself? You punched the biggest guy in there? Or what did you do?
I just got used to it, you know. You get used to people in your course and you get used to going to the library and going to the pub and everything else.
Unbelievable. And then, you went to Mendanville before, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, how was that?
I loved that place.
Yeah?
I really, really loved it.
Is it like the Russell Carroll Kelly books?
Not at all.
No?
Not at all.
No, some good people from Mendanville, wasn't there?
Everyone in Mendanville is good.
Okay, sorry, yeah.
There is,
loads of good people in Mendanville. Yeah. Fantastic. And then you came to the academy, and what subjects did you do actually?
I did business, biology. What did I do? English, Spanish. So English, Irish, maths, Spanish, biology, and business. Did I do anything else? No, I did 7.
You did public speaking?
No, I didn't do public speaking.
You did public speaking? You came once?
I did it like once.
Yeah, no, it was unbelievable. It was very good. And tell me then, so why did you decide, so you were gone from 5th year into 6th year, like doesn't have to sell the academy, why did you decide, listen, the 5th year Robyn needed a change for 6th year? Like what were you thinking?
I just wasn't focused. Like I was in study after school every day and the grades weren't there. Like my mind wasn't there. So my mum initially, and I'd always been doing the grinds here, so my mum initially was like, go for the interview, just have a feel for it, go for the interview. So I went in, had the interview, came out, was really, really unsure. Like I had no idea what I was going to do. And my mum said, just trust me on this. Like it will be right for you. Like just trust me. And I didn't want to leave my school, but I decided to trust her. And I made a deal that if I didn't like it, I could go back, being completely honest. Mm-hmm. And then the first week I loved it and I couldn't go back.
Yeah, and do you think a change of environment actually switched a change in your mind?
Yeah, I think as soon as we walked in, the teachers had our mindsets, the atmosphere had our mindsets, everyone had kind of the same mindset of achieving a certain goal. Now, everyone had different goals because everyone has different levels of intellect and all that, so striving to achieve 65 wasn't going to be realistic, but it was the best I could do. And as soon as I walked in, I was like, I will do the best I can do. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I was like, okay, no, I like it here. And then I tried out the studying and I tried out the teachers, and I was like, yeah, I can't leave this place. Yeah.
And then, what do you do in UCD? I forgot.
Sport and exercise management.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, so I love it. It was my second choice and I love it.
Yeah? What are you studying on the reg? What do you do? What lectures do you do?
Like science of human performance, sports management, sports development and all those kind of stuff. And it's because I love sports. That's what kept me going for 6th year, and it's great that I can keep that up in college now.
Oh, so you played sports in 6th year as well?
Yeah.
And you found that was beneficial?
I think that's the only thing that got me through it.
Yeah.
This place was amazing, but obviously there's still stress in 6th year.
Yeah.
Being in the academy, the stress was lowered because I had the reassurance of my amazing teachers, and I knew all of us were putting in the work. I knew myself what I was putting in, so I kind of knew what I was going to get out. But I also played basketball throughout the year, and having the gym, like I was there at least 4 times a week just to release stress. Now, whether it was walking on the treadmill or literally walking around, it was just so handy to have that because it just took your mind off everything and gave you energy. Like by the end of the day, you're tired, you're fed up. If you had a bad test or if you're stressed about something, you don't know how it's all going to fit, doing that just clears your mind space and you just feel so much happier after. So you're kind of I can achieve this now. I'm ready again.
Unbelievable, yeah, because you get a lot of people, because I used to coach rugby when I was in CBC, and a lot of people are kind of questioning about doing sports in 6th year because they said like time and stuff like that. But you found that actually it was the thing that actually powered your Leaving Cert almost.
It's a bit different with the gym, I suppose, but playing basketball definitely kept me going because I had my team. So not only on like the court, you're supported, like we were all in the same boat because we were all 6th years, maybe the odd few were 5th years, but everyone was kind of studying, like in 5th years they were studying, the 6th years we were all talking about different subjects, like laughing about if we didn't do well or encouraging each other to do better. Like it was really good atmosphere to have that like at least twice a week. And then when you're playing a match, you're so focused, your energy is so focused on that match, and then afterwards you just feel so good whether you win or lose, and you're kind of ready to go again. Like it's just for me, exercise was a really good release, like no matter what it was.
Who do you play for?
Meteors Basketball Club. It's based in Eastcon, just down the road.
Okay,
so it was kind of handy to get to as well. Like it was just there.
Perfect. And you would have previously played in Mount Anvil, and then you switched over?
I played with Mount Anvil and Meteors because Mount Anvil isn't a club, it was just the school team. So I played with both. So it was really great that I had basketball still when I moved here. That's really, really good. And I kind of find that with when I saw kids in school that had to train and stuff, that added structure to their day, and suddenly instead of having 8 hours to get stuff done, which kind of maybe not get done, they have 3 hours to get their essay done, or 3 hours to get, and do you think that helped as well? Yeah, because I think Thursday was the day I had 2 studies here, and then I'd have 2 hours in the afternoon and I'd have to be gone. So I made those days so not overly productive, but so productive. Because I knew I know after basketball training I won't want to do anything, I want to rest, because I was a morning studier. People can study at night and they can stay up to 2 a.m, and like some people like to cram, but I was definitely a morning studier. So for me, having that at night so I can have a proper rest and wake up and even look over some notes, especially closer to the time of the Leaving Cert or the mocks, to have that was great, because the basketball season goes all the way till May. So really March or April, but the training kind of continues on till May. So having that was just really nice to clear my head, and then when I woke up in the morning, like a fresh start, go again, look over whatever I needed to look over. Unbelievable. What was the biggest shock about 6th year when you started? Or was there a shock? Or was that what you expected? I think the shock was that it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Like actually sitting it wasn't that bad. The worst part is coming up to it. It just wasn't as daunting as I thought it was going to be. Like at all, I was really shocked by that I was like, oh, I'm sitting the Leaving Cert. Like I should be a lot more nervous. I should be a lot more stressed. It's built up more so than what it actually is. It's all in your head, I think. That's key. Speaking about it all in your head, you kind of seem to speak stuff forward. You're living the dream now at the moment. You said to yourself, can I be on that podcast? You spoke into reality. I did. And now you are here, and you were studying in UCD, and now you are there. So you said it was actually just sitting the Leaving Cert. Did you get say when you came in September or October, and you said you were now a different Robyn, because before you were going to study, but you weren't getting the results. You kind of found, because obviously something had to shift in you, and I understand that you had great teachers here, but I don't know, a great teacher could teach somebody still just sitting there. What advice maybe would you give to a person to because that was obviously a massive change. What advice would you give to someone to make a change like that? I don't really know. I think it was generally just the people around. Surround yourself with people that want to do well. Because everyone around me wanted to do the same thing, so I was like, I want to be just as good. I don't want to fall behind. I don't want to be the one that gets left behind. I wanted to be up there with everyone and do the best. I was like, no, this year I'm not going to be stupid. This year I'm going to try. Whatever clicked, I think it was actually the motivation from the teachers. It was like, you can do this. You can. And I was kind of like, okay, cool, I can. Whether I could or not doesn't matter. I had the mindset that I could. Which allowed you to open up to try. And to actually, I wanted to work, I wanted to study. And then when you get into the routine, it's not like, I have to go study. It's just part of your day. It's like, I have to do this and to do that. And it's kind of like, the whole atmosphere around here was kind of like, if you don't do it, it's your Leaving Cert. Do you know what I mean? The teachers obviously backed you 100%. But if you didn't do the work, they weren't going to completely chase you for it, which I actually liked. Because it made you want to do the work, so you almost got more respect or something like that. I don't know. I not liked doing it. It was still 6th year work, but it was just because everyone else came in with the same mindset. It was honestly just the mindset of the people around you. Surround yourself by people that want to do well, and you will. No, I definitely find that in stuff that I do. When you hang around with certain people, you actually think different thoughts, have different emotions, and then have different actions. 100%.
Yeah, there's this lad that I know who loves going for burritos, for example. I can't say his name, but like...
Is he a teacher in the school?
He's not a teacher in this school, no, you wouldn't know him. Dale, you actually potentially would know him, but anytime I hang around with him, he wants to go for, like, say, pizza or burritos. And I always say no, but then I always find myself 3 days later kind of going, well... I didn't go that time, and then I go yeah. So, but potentially when I'm hanging around with other people, they have different thoughts and stuff like that, and then you subsequently have different actions of those subjects that you. Sorry to jump off there.
Yeah,
of those subjects that you named, coming into sixth year, what was your favourite subject?
Biology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, it has a lot to do with the course I'm in now, which kind of shows because it's a sports science course.
Yeah. No, I believe you. But, yeah.
I don't know. It clicked with me. I understood it. Everything about it. It made sense. Like being told about the human cell. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, I get you. And I suppose being so interested in sport, it kind of made it was relevant to how your body was working and stuff like that.
Yeah, like finding out, like, oh, like right now my heart is beating at a certain pace, and if something changed in the room, it would beat at a different pace. Do you know what I mean? Like I just found it really interesting. So it clicked in my head. So I didn't find it hard to learn or difficulty to learn because I was actually interested in the topic.
Yeah.
So
what was the worst one? At the start of sixth year, maths.
Maths, yeah.
Boy.
I don't know. A lot of people say you're either a maths person or you're not, but I think that can change with a good teacher. With explanation. Like I was so happy with my result in maths after leaving cert, and I couldn't believe that I achieved it with higher level maths. And it's just, I don't know what it was coming in. It's just the fear, I guess, of maths. Like people hear maths and they get scared. No matter how good they are at it. And I wasn't the worst, I wasn't the best, but no matter what it was, I thought I was the worst coming in. I was like, I will never be able to achieve what I achieved in the Leaving Cert. So I don't know what it was just the fear of it and the numbers, and unless it's explained properly, you will be stuck because the questions can throw you. So once you're taught to look through the questions and find the tricks, I think it becomes a lot less daunting and a lot less scary. And
would you say then when you started seeing positive results in that, you started going again, oh, I can do this, and you put more time into it, you're more open to do more work? And
I think it was more like I had Rob Brown as a maths teacher, and to completely say, like, if I got 60, if I got 70, if I got 50, I got the same positive feedback. I didn't get made feel like if I had a bad test and saying I got 50%, I didn't put my head down. He was like, you still got half of all the answers right. Next time you can get over half. Or in the Leaving Cert, like the actual thing, you will get over half because these were hard questions. These were a bunch of all the hardest questions. So if you can achieve half of these right, you can do better. You will get better. So I was kind of I practiced the questions. It was the positivity feedback. It wasn't kind of like, what happened? Why did you do so bad? It was, no, that's a good result. That's a great result. Don't compare yourself to people that got 80 or 90. Look at yourself. And that was a really nice thing to look at myself instead of comparing myself to people that were
nerds.
Not nerds, but that were better at maths than I was. Like I could be better at English than someone else, but you can't compare the two. Because everyone has a different mindset and a different brain, and how they learn is different. And
I suppose if you consistently compare yourself to someone, then maybe your maths result might be better, but then your biology result, you might be comparing to the best in biology and all that, and you just get negative.
I think you have to focus on yourself in 6th year. Obviously look around you, because I definitely did look around me. I didn't want to be behind. I didn't want to be the worst, but I definitely wanted to keep going. No matter how bad or good it was, like to other people, I was like, this can be the best I can do. And once I had the best I could do, I was happy. Now, obviously I was striving for H1s and everything, but I was really happy with whatever I got because I knew I put in all the work. So I think that's what makes a difference. You have to put in the work for yourself, and then you're happy with whatever you get. Most of the time.
Most of the time. Most of the time. That makes a lot of sense. What would you say if we cloned Robyn Dunne right now?
You couldn't.
Say we did, right? We had another Robyn Dunne here, and she was doing 6th year again. She was starting out. Is there anything that you would say to yourself that, you would improve on? Any mistakes that you personally would have made?
Me personally, I think I needed better planning.
Okay.
I kind of focused on what we were doing, and I wish I had a better structure. Like I did everything, I had my day set out, but my actual plans, like by the end of this week, I want these 2 chapters completely learnt. I didn't have that. I just was like, I want to study biology, I want to study business, and I did whatever I did. But I wish I had a set plan, especially between the mocks and the leaving. I wish I had for this week or month or whatever, I want these specific chapters learnt off. These would be my long questions. I want them specifically learnt off and to know them. So I kind of wish I had that element of planning in my study, and in that kind of form time management to know between the weeks and between the days, that I would like that. Now with my type of learner, I am a crammer, like I will do better with cramming, but I just wish I had that structure of
in the background.
Between this week and this week I want these completely learnt off that I can say it backwards.
Yeah. So is that a case, do you reckon that's a case of a student sitting down and planning that out, or they need help from a teacher with that?
I think looking back on it now, I would have struggled by myself. I needed someone's guidance or someone's help, like just kind of a guideline. Like you should want this much done. You should want that much done.
Yeah.
Because I could be like, I want one chapter done in a week. But after, like between the mocks and the Leaving Cert, you'd want more than one chapter learned off in a week just with the workload that you have.
Yeah, so you want to be more effective at it versus just busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I kept myself busy, but I just wish I was effective, exactly what you said.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's interesting. That's something obviously that I'm massively into. But then at some stage as a teacher, I'm not sure whether I go, yeah, there's your 3 chapters and next week you're going to do this, next week you're going to do that, because I'd be afraid that, you know, some kids would already have something like that. Yeah. And then suddenly they have 2 and it makes it even worse. Yeah. Yeah, and then...
Well, I know there was one of the students that actually did look at their planning, but it was like the last 2 months, but it did help. Yeah. I looked at their complete structure because we had the same subjects, but we had 1 or 2 that were different, so I incorporated my own time frame into them, but it definitely did help towards the end because I had something like it, but I needed to stick to it. It was nice to have, but I didn't particularly stick to it. Okay. So I wish I had it earlier on. Okay, yeah. No, that's really interesting. What mistake would you have seen other students make that not necessarily, you don't have to call anyone out, but not necessarily one you made? What else could be out there that somebody potentially listening to this is like, I don't know if this is a mistake or not? I think a mistake, I think if you don't turn off your phone, you can be on it all the time. Yeah. You don't have it near you. Like, leave it in a different room, leave it out in the hall, in the corridor, in your locker. Like, I know people listen to music, but bring in an iPod or something, because no matter what, if you're waiting for a response or something big went down, like a bit of gossip, you will be in it no matter how much you want to study. Yeah, sure. I'm still waiting for a couple of girls from 6th year when I was in 6th year to write back to me, so I know what you mean. I'm still anticipating, and you know, I suppose that's the way it is, but the phone is a massive one, and Will spoke about that a couple of weeks ago, like your attention span on it, and even as you said to me, like, it's all in your head, and if you're anxious or you're anticipating something else, or you're consistently getting quick responses, you cannot focus on that one thing that you're talking about. Did you turn off your phone? Yeah, a good bit. Yeah? For 6th year, I took away like my data plan, so I didn't even have 3G. And with the school towards the end of the year, like, we didn't have the Wi-Fi password, so we couldn't particularly use it unless we really needed it. Yeah. But I took my plan away, so when I was in the library, when I was here, I actually didn't have access to the Wi-Fi, so I didn't check my phone because I knew I wouldn't have anything there. Yeah. So I think that was a really good thing I did at the start of 6th year. Yeah. Because I could text my parents if I needed them, I could text my friends if I really needed them. But I didn't have like the Snapchat or the Instagram to like look things up or see who's online or anything like that. I just took that away from the beginning, from the get-go. I didn't want it because I knew if I'd started with it, I'd get used to it. But I did listen to music a little bit. I had background music. So I did have my phone, but it wasn't connected to anything. Yeah. Do you find background music helps? Sometimes. Yeah. I think it's nice going over it the first or second time, but by like the 3rd time you want to be going over it without anything, and you should be able to like recite it, so that way I was kind of saying things over my head, so if I had music it would interrupt my own thoughts. So I think maybe for the first or 2 times it's kind of like helps yourself get into studying, because it's not that bad. Like from the start of the year, like it's not that bad, and it didn't pull away my train of thought, but it can take away others. And then by the 3rd or 4th time I was going over it, I wanted to be repeating it in my head over and over again, because that's how I taught myself. Yeah. So I wouldn't have wanted music playing. Yeah, that's interesting. And do you think, like, was there any point throughout the year that, I don't want to use the word breakdown, but you just went, oh my God, this, and it really got to you? I was actually surprised. I think it was because of the environment in the school only. That is the only, like, I'm not trying to promote the school. I genuinely just think because I was in the school, I didn't have, like, I think I cried twice in school, and I should have been. If I was anywhere else, I know that would not have been the case. Yeah, less than you.
Yeah, I cried twice today. So I think it's just because you support of your friends and you have good habits from other people and stuff.
Yeah, and if you had a bad day, there was 10 other people here that could have. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it wasn't likely to do that. It was, if you fell down, everyone around you picked you back up if you couldn't do it yourself. Do you know what I mean? The teachers, like, it was really the positive feedback from the teachers that made me feel like, okay, that might have been bad, but this one isn't, or the next one won't be. Do you know what I mean? Like, throughout the year, obviously, you're testing yourself more and more, but one chapter doesn't determine your whole Leaving Cert. It might not even come up. Now, I'm not saying don't study it, but do you know what I mean? For some people, they get so caught up on like 1 chapter or 2 chapters of work, and they might not have done well in that exact test, so they just mean they have to go over it again. But for them, it's like, my whole Leaving Cert is over if I can't achieve these 2, which is not the case. And I think it was all to do with the mindset in this place, and the positivity and the great feedback, and we never really had time to sit back and be like, oh, that was awful, like, I'm going to completely break down, I'm never going to get through this. It was kind of like, no, I don't have time for that, I have something else I need to focus on, like, I have another goal to achieve. So I think that was the difference. Whether in other schools it could have been more, you sit down at lunch and everyone's crying and it's like, I can't believe I didn't do well in one test. I think the boys helped as well, having boys in the school, because they just kind of be like, cop on, get along with it, whereas girls are you hug each other and it's okay and all that. So I think being in a mixed school definitely helped. Emotional wise, it was a lot more like relaxed or something.
When you're saying the positive feedback, is there any time that a teacher should say, bullshit, you need to work harder? Or should it be like, or do you think it's like, oh, well, no, you did very well, or does it depend on the person, or what do you think?
I think it depends on the person, because if a teacher can usually see if someone's trying or not. And I don't think yelling is ever kind of, I know it works for some people, but being like, you did crap when someone really did try their best isn't what they need. So I think it's kind of gauge the person. The teacher has to gauge the person, because if they get a result and if they like throw the paper away, you can just see it in their expressions, because usually body language is a big thing. That you can just see that they're not really bothered by it. Then kind of be like, listen, you need to work harder. I don't want you to do bad. We all want you to do well. You need to put it in and maybe be a bit more stern. But when you can see if they get a bad result, you'll see it in their face that they genuinely care. So then I think it's the time to take a step back and be like, that's okay, you can do better. You will do better. So I think it depends on gauging the person.
I get you. What's the crack with people being so scared of the orals?
I wasn't.
But like in general, like, you know, you see people get very upset, or they're going into people that are very confident when you speak to them. They're going into the orals, and they've had like that.
You can kind of compare that to public speaking, because some people can be so confident around their friends, but if they stand in front of a room, they're done. They're quiet and they shake and they can't. I think it's just the level of stress that they put themselves under for those things, because it's like, this is my only chance, even though in the Leaving Cert it's the exact same thing, but it's not something. I know in the academy we did practice a lot, so by the time the orals came around we were nervous but we were prepared. But a lot of people, it's just the pressure you put themselves under. Like, if I get asked this, it's more the if than what actually happens. And then if they have one of the ifs that came into their head, like one of the fears that came into their head before the exam or before the oral, and they walk out and one of those things went wrong, the whole thing went wrong. Because people tend to focus on the negative rather than the positive in situations like that. So when they walk out, they're like, it was horrible. Now they probably got a H1. I know in this place a lot of people did. Everyone did so well because of the practices we had. But they could still come out so crying, because it's a release of stress, and one negative overwrites all the positives that they did. Like one like grammar mistake and they think they're done, when it's not the case at all. I know exactly what you mean by that. One time I was setting an exam and I actually got knocked out in the gym that morning. I was doing handstand push-ups and I fell on my head, and I was did the test, but the test was already done up, so that was fine, and I spelled Academy wrong on the bottom of the test. I didn't sleep for a week. I thought, like, geez, I'm gonna be fired and stuff. Is that
like
real?
That. I swear to God, swear to God, it was a rough couple of days of my life. Handstand push-ups are all good now though, so it's fine. But I know what you mean. They just build up the wrong thing. Today I was listening to a podcast on the way into work, and a lad called Tony Robbins was talking about, we have something like 3,000 words for emotion, and 80% of them are towards something negative. So that's just the way we gravitate. I think he said something because it was in the past, you would have to look at negative stuff because that's what keeps you alive, staying away from that.
Yeah.
And we just kind of bring it into that sort of situation. And tell me then, do you think project work is like good for a student, a good option, something that they should be thinking of in 5th year?
Yeah, that's why I like the projects and the orals, because a lot of people can't sit down and regurgitate what they've learned. Mm-hmm. That's a mindset, that's a learning style that some people just don't have. Yeah. So I think having the orals and the orals and particularly projects, you can show your creative side. Like with art, they have a big project, you can show how creative you are, and you can focus on that, and it's almost a relief going in being like, I have 20% to 40% done. Mm-hmm. You know, because by the time you put them in, they are basically perfect.
Yeah.
But with all the teachers around us, they are basically perfect. So it is a lot of stress taken away, be like, I have that much done, I only have this much more to go, and you can kind of not be so worried for the literally like learn and regurgitate, which what the Leaving Cert basically is. Yeah.
So I never thought about this before, but that's something that should be really put in when you're in 4th year, going into 5th year, or even the start of 5th year. What subjects you've taught, because you know who you are at that stage.
Yeah.
And well, like, you know, in terms of learning, you know, a lot of the time it's like, so say for example, I would be good at doing tests.
Yeah.
But then somebody else might be good at, you know, going home and, you know, doing that big art project and stuff like that, and organising that way, and putting a lot of effort into it. So that's the way. That's funny. For your CAO then, so I don't really know. I can't remember my CAO really.
Yeah.
I remember I had medicine first to look cool. Like, I didn't even want to do medicine. I don't know what I don't know. I'm sure a lot of people do like similar. But how does that process work? Like, what did you do? How did you decide?
Mine was all over the place. Like, in a good way. I did not. A lot of people are like my top choice was psychology and UCD, and because that went up, I didn't get it this year, unfortunately. But it's okay because I love my course, and I actually do think everything happens for a reason. Yeah. Like, I completely love what I'm doing, and if it hadn't gone up this year, I'd be in it. And it's really weird to think that it did go up, like it happened for a reason. So my CAO, I actually remember it so clearly. It was psychology, UCD, sport and exercise management, which is a complete drop of like 70 points or something like that. Maybe 50, I could be wrong. I'm not sure if it went up or went down. I just knew I had the points when I got my results. And then it went back up again to psychology and DCU or something like that. Like, it was complete, you don't do it by points, you do it by preference, because you never know how many things are going to drop or exceed. So there's something you put second could exceed up to more points than your first choice. Do you know what I mean? Like, you should definitely do it by preference. Like, mine was all over the place in case of like ranges. Like, it went up from like whatever to whatever, really went up and down. But I was happy with it being like, if I don't get this one and I get this one, I'll be happy, even though it didn't really make sense. Like, if I got my first choice, I knew all the rest would be gone. So I knew if I got a certain amount of points, I knew I wouldn't get the rest. Or I would get the rest, but do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, the first one. How did you even decide the list that shows thousands of courses?
Mine was predominantly science-based.
Because of what we said earlier, that's what you've liked since...
because of what I liked. But actually, finishing the Leaving Cert, I realised I liked business. So the course that I'm doing is a mixture of sports science and business. Yeah. So it couldn't be more perfect. Like, I didn't even look at it at the start. It was actually just advised by someone. I think they'd just have a look at it, or a girl in the year above me was doing it and talking about it. And I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. I'll just have a read of it. And I read it and I was like, yeah, this is perfect. This is for me. This is exactly what I want. And it actually contains sports psychology. So there's an element of psychology in it. So it just kind of worked out for the best. Whatever I read about the course, it clicked with me. But I know that a lot of people that didn't happen to. Yeah. They had no clue. They just put things based on points, and then when it came to it, they weren't happy, and they could end up doing like a PLC or repeating. So I think the CAO is a really big deal, and you really take into consideration, instead of, I know a lot of people don't know what you're doing, but think about something you like. Yeah. Because I wasn't sure what I wanted to be. Yeah. But I found a course that was perfect for the subjects I liked. Yeah. And now I can see myself in a career, and I've only been there 2 months. Yeah. So you just have to go with stuff you like and hope for the best. Yeah. Well, I actually, I didn't have a clue what I was doing, and I kind of just woke up on the day. I had no idea what was going to happen, and I ended up doing business economics in Trinity. Yeah. I don't like business or economics. I don't know why I did that, but I think
Is there places you can go online, or is there any place you can ask questions about this, or do you know about that?
I don't think so, but I know a lot of schools have guidance counsellors, and they're quite equipped to help people out.
Yeah.
I know we were all made to see the guidance counsellor once here to help us out, and I told her I already knew what I wanted. I was lucky to know what I wanted. I either wanted psychology or the course I'm in now.
Yeah.
So I was quite lucky, but I think it helps gauge what your interests are, because a lot of people put down a course, they know they're going to do well, or they hope they're going to do well. They put down a course like, let's just say, commerce.
Yeah.
And they've no interest in it, but it sounds good.
Yeah.
To everyone else, it sounds good. So it's kind of like, yeah, I'm doing that. They hate it because it just sounds good. They thought it would be a good course because it sounds good, because it's high points or something like that. You cannot base what you want to do or what you like on points or like the stigma around the course. Mm-hmm. So I think you have to take that away, because I know in 6th year when you hear everyone, I want to do medicine, I want to do this, I want to do business and law. Like I remember I was like, I don't want to do any of them, but I almost felt the need to put them down.
Yeah.
To be like, I want to do these. Yeah, no, I do, because everyone else wants to. You really need to take a step back and realise your own likes, no matter what anyone else thinks of it, I think, because there is a lot of stigma around doing, especially in South Dublin, about doing a high-end course, even if it's not for you, especially if you're confused about what you want. You need to take a step back and be like, what do I actually want, or what are my actual interests? Because everyone will have at least one subject that they like in school. So whatever it is, and you have no idea, follow that subject. Mm-hmm. And if you end up hating it, then change. But at least you know you followed something you did like, you did have a clue about, you had an idea.
Yeah.
And that would be my only advice, instead of listening to like everyone else's what they think they want to do.
Yeah, that's crucial, because if you think about everything we've spoken about up till now, is to get that thing on that list. Yeah. That's all it's for. And if someone could just pay, I don't know, 10 grand just to get that thing on the list, there's no point in nearly doing the Leaving Cert. Obviously the Leaving Cert is loads of other things where it like helps, it prepares you, it helps mature you, it puts you under a bit of stress and all that. And I think that's
a bit more of a bit of stress, a lot of stress.
It puts you under a lot of stress. Yeah. So, but I think I think that's fantastic as a growth thing for students. And some people say, oh, we'll never use that again. It's like, yeah, but you'll never have that focused year of growth and learning about yourself and learning how to deal under pressure. Did it feel now, looking back, does it feel like it's gone, or did it still feel, no, that was a really long year? And
I actually thought the year flew by, but I thought from mocks to Leaving Cert it actually slowed down. Yeah. Because it was just kind of like a breather. You're like, oh God, okay, here it's coming, like like a storm. Like you just knew it was on its way. But I think looking back, the year kind of just flew by. Yeah. Like the actual Leaving Cert, like the 2 weeks before and the actual Leaving Cert, I thought went on forever. Yeah. I never thought it was going to end, because I finished on Spanish. So whatever date that was, the 17th or 18th, I think. I literally have no idea anymore. Yeah. Don't remember doing it. But I remember walking out of the exam being like, oh wow, it's all over. Yeah. This whole thing is over. I can finally go out again. I can. Yeah. Like it was just really crazy feeling. It doesn't fit you. Like I woke up, because as I said, I'm a morning studier, so I still woke up at like 3 or 4 in the morning with my mindset being like, okay, I have to get up, I have to do this, and I was like, I don't, I'm done. Nice. Yeah. So it was kind of weird that it was just all over really quickly, and it was just done. I was like, this whole big scary thing that was such a big deal is just finished. Yeah. And I think people put a lot of pressure on it. Obviously you want to do well, but there are people that do repeat, and for them it's better to have that extra year. And there are other people that prefer to do a PLC and kind of figure out what they want and do what they want. So everyone to their own. Yeah, you know, it's not just, the Leaving Cert isn't just to get into college. It is to figure out what you want to do, no matter what that course is, what that like path you choose is. Yeah. So I think, but it was just weird to turn around and be like, oh, it's done. Oh, that wasn't that bad. Yeah. You mentioned something there. Were you a hermit in 6th year? Did you stay in? Or did you like the release kind of the same way you had your sports? Did you? I kind of had a mixture. Yeah. I think I had I don't want to say I didn't go out a lot, but I did and didn't. It was quite like I stopped going out of February. That was my last time. I went out, I think, twice in February, and that was it. Yeah. But I was supposed to stop at like October, and then I went out again until Christmas, and then. Yeah, well, I think that's important though as well. It was nice though. It was nice to be like out with other people, because I didn't leave the boundaries of the school. Yeah. Anyone that was here would vouch that I was here in the morning, throughout the day, in the evening, and then I was home, or I was playing basketball. Annoying enough. Yeah, really annoying. I annoyed everyone here. No, it was very nice. So it was kind of weird. I almost forgot what like if you didn't have that, you'd kind of forget that there was other schools
in life,
and other people. Like I completely forgot about some people because I was just so focused. I was like, oh yeah, there's other schools. It's not just the bubble of the academy. Like because we were all in a bubble, as I'm sure so many other schools were, because it was just all about being in here and doing the work here. Yeah. So I think going out was kind of, as long as you don't overdo it and you do it to moderation, everything to moderation, but like it was needed for me because I like to go out and I like to socialise and see people. So it was kind of nice to see people that I kind of was like, oh yeah, there's a world outside studying. Yeah. But I'm happy I did stop at a certain point. Like I did have to like be like, no, I want to focus from now on. And I did focus for the whole year, but it was just kind of like, right, this is the proper run up now. Yeah. So it was kind of, I went like the last time I went out was after mocks. And then I was like, okay, head down. This is it now, like tunnel vision. Yeah, brilliant.
Because obviously I didn't teach you last year. I didn't realise how like some of your things here are so mature. Like some of the decisions they made or some of the things you're saying. Yeah. No, that's
it's
brilliant.
All a lie.
It's a facade. No, that's okay. What's the difference in college?
You're working. You're experiencing the world. You're going on trips. You're like for the first time ever, I went to England completely by myself to see one of my friends that actually is English, and I've known her since I was about 8, and I see her every summer, but I've never actually made the move to go over and see her. And I was even like doing something like that. You've so much more independence, and everyone's learning how to drive, and you're working, and you're kind of doing everything on your own. So you kind of mature in your own way at your own pace. Yeah. You kind of just grow up when you don't realise it. Like not even the other day, I was hearing news about teachers in my town with like really positive news, and I was like, I still remember walking in first year. How am I in college? How is it all done? Yeah. Like the whole thing, like even the junior cert, how is it all just kind of gone? Like it's crazy to think that, to look back and be like, I have a job now, like learning how to drive, you know, like flying to different countries just to meet up with friends. Like since when has that become normal? Yeah. And it's just kind of weird to think I'm that person now, the person that I looked up to, my sister and her friends doing all this stuff by themselves, and I am that person now, and the people I surround myself are doing the same thing. Yeah. So it's just kind of crazy to think, wow, like we made it. Yeah, no, that's brilliant. Are you still focused on study in college, or are you? Well, with exams around the corner, yeah. Oh yeah, because you had UCD before. When are they? In like 2 weeks. So you've been studying? A little bit, yeah. UCD, you do it for a term, isn't it? And then that subject's done. Some of them, yeah. Yeah, so different. You might keep one or two because with certain modules they have to be on for like the entire year. But I think I've one that's staying and the rest are all gone. Yeah. Which is really great because you get everything. You get to really try it out and you're not bored by the second half because you really do a lot. Because a lot of my lectures would be 2 hours. So you can cover a lot in 2 hours. Our classes were an hour and we got loads done. So it's just kind of crazy to be like, oh yeah, I'll have a whole new mindset. At the second half of the year, I'll have a whole new subject lectures that I can gravitate to. Yeah. And then we have the ski trip as well. So that's ski trip coming up in January? Yeah. Unreal. Thank God my exams are before. Yeah, because I remember, because I never got to go on those ski trips because I had rugby and stuff, but that people used to be panicking because I was in Trinity, so it was around exam time and stuff like that. That's unbelievable. Where do you work? I work in just the village cafe just beside us. Unreal. But I might be getting a new job, so maybe don't add that in. Yeah, no. I have a job interview. I have a trial tonight in Elephant Castle up in the Beacon. Oh, lovely, because I just need more hours because Christmas is coming and... Yeah. Because I work now, everyone's expecting proper presents, so I'm kind of like, okay, I'll get you your proper presents. Yeah, real pressures. But it's I like black t-shirts. Really? Yeah, black t-shirts, black, Yeah, no, sorry, go on. What were we going to say? But even in like with working, you mature so much, like everyone's kind of, you're expected to do more. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's just kind of great. Like it's all kind of coming together. Would you do it again? The Leaving Cert? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah? If I had a proper passion for something, if it was something like medicine or dentistry and I actually thought I could achieve it, yeah, I'd repeat it again. Yeah. Because I had a great year, so yeah, it was awful at times, but I would repeat again, if I actually had a proper like vocation in life, if I really wanted to do something that I didn't previously get, and it was in my like academic reach. Yeah, brilliant. 6 years best year of my life, I thought. Yeah, I had a really good year. By a good bit. So I think we'll probably kind of start wrapping up. But do you think if you were to say right now, so the Robyn Dunne advice right now, if you were to wrap it up in terms of the Leaving Cert, 2 questions then. What
right now, so we're in November, what should people do that you saw people not doing, and what should they not do? And I know we've kind of covered some of that stuff, but just to kind of wrap it up.
Start focusing. A lot of people come into 6th year like all guns blazing, and then by November it kind of dwindles a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's kind of Christmas and yay, and yeah, 6 years not like it's fine, like we're getting there, and then it's like, okay, mocks are right around the corner.
Yeah.
So the only thing I'd say is don't lose focus over Christmas and kind of keep that steady train going.
Yeah.
That's the proper advice I give now, because I know a lot of people were learning how to drive and they were focusing on that in 6th year, or it was Christmas time and they got caught up in the whole fun of Christmas. You need to just keep chipping away now. Don't get stressed. It's only November. Don't get stressed now for the mocks. But just keep chipping away so that when they do come, you'll be prepared.
Yeah.
Or slightly prepared.
Perfect. So get focused, and as you said actually earlier as well, get effective in what you're studying. So have that plan.
Yeah.
Whether being going to, well, also the guidance counsellor thing. So you've the CAO, so you've that goal there. But you get effective. You understand. So whether going to your teacher, going to a friend that you already know is organised, that sort of stuff, and then basically don't just kind of pawn it off day by day. Say tomorrow. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, because I know I'm such a Christmas lover.
Yeah.
So when over Christmas myself, I was like, I'm allowed these days off. Like it's family time now. Like at least get in an hour or two.
Yeah.
Whether it's you're listening to an oral or doing an oral. Maybe if you don't want to sit down, if you're really not in the mood to sit down, practice your oral work. Listen to some Irish tapes. Do you know what I mean? Watch a show in Spanish. It's something that's productive. Like even if you're literally like, I don't want to do anything, I can't. Like I'm so full from whatever food I've been eating. Like I'm so not in the mood. Do something that could help. Whether it may not be direct studying, but I remember I watched a Spanish show and my like speaking did improve because of it. So even doing something like that, that's still beneficial. If you might not think it, you're learning subconsciously.
Yeah.
Like colloquial phrases, is it? The local phrases, whatever it is. You're learning from that show. So even saying one or two of them in your oral can help you immensely.
Yeah.
So something like that can help.
Brilliant. And you enjoyed your devs?
Yeah, I love the devs.
Both of them?
Yeah, I love both.
Unreal. And that's fantastic. Really good. Robyn, thanks so much for coming in. I think we got to close up because unfortunately I still have school. So we're doing some trigonometric graphs. You remember them?
I don't want to remember that.
Yeah, that's great. So it's fantastic. It's great to have you in to show that, you know, like obviously it's important, and obviously you can organise it, but every single person, as you said, can get through it if you prioritise, if that's what you want to do. And the fact that it goes so quick, and to see you going into college and, you know, in UCD to, like, you know, I suppose having a great time and enjoying your course, that's a really good story. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Cheers. I don't know, do we shake hands at this as well? Okay, great.
Thanks
so much, Robyn. Thank you.